Okay, we had a bit of a false start there because I am trying to figure out something with my computer, why it's going so damn slow. But I might get some help with that in a bit. But anyway, no big deal. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday on the Morning Night Live, and I got a good chuckle from an interview that Don Lemon did yesterday. You probably already seen it, but I'm still going to talk about it because I just thought it was a little bit hilarious. And other than that, we're going to talk about some of the mayhem going on in my neck of the woods, Minnesota and Wisconsin, all kinds of news about that. And, we'll just see what happens. So anyway, Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, me, Marty, a.k.a. PDawg Knight, as I'm known on the internet. Welcome to the Dawg Knight Channel and the Morning Night Live on this beautiful Thursday, August 27th, 2020. And we'll see if a couple of my friends showed up. I told my friends about the show today. It's the first time I've ever mentioned it, but we'll see what happens. And maybe I will get them on the show sometime in the near future, but we'll see if they show up today in the chat. I'll figure it out as we go along. I gotta tell you, as I'm watching the news yesterday, here, let me fix my microphone so you can hear me a little better. As I am watching news clips, and by the way, we're not going to talk about the Republican National Convention at all today. I didn't watch it, and just like I didn't really watch the DNC either. There are clips and stuff. I'm sure there's some good stuff. Someone else can talk about the speeches and all that. I'm bored with it. But obviously there's a lot of other stuff in the news. Things on fire, things just shitty things happen. The hurricane, the hurricane down in New Orleans. Whew, I worry about that. We were planning a trip to New Orleans next year. Well, we'll see if that happens again. But anyway, about the title of the show today, because interesting interview with Jacob Blake's mother and Mr. Crump, the attorney for Jacob Blake. There's my friend Mr. Kane. How you doing, Mr. Kane? I'm glad you're here. We're gonna say good morning to everybody in a minute. Jacob Blake's mother did an interview on CNN, and It was kind of, I have a lot of respect for this woman. I know it's got to be hard to be part of what's going on. And I just think how her composure was amazing to me. And also, I think it was a little bit surprising for Don Lemon, too, because I don't think Don Lemon was expecting what he got. And so we're going to talk about that. First, though, before I get into all that, I'm going to say good morning to everyone in the chat because, that's what I do every day. First in the chat today was our friend Advocatus Diabli, the devil's advocate, who gets the bell if it rings and the bell's not working. Great. Or is that just I don't have the volume up? All right, well, it'll show up there in a second. Also, good morning to Richo, my friend from Down Under, Zero the Hero, CNN Sucks, the most redundant name on the internet, Black Hebrew Israelite, and that one's not working either. You know what?
That's right.
Oh, there we go. There's the bell and the that's right. Also, good morning to Zach Osborne, Dark Isle, let's see, Kyra Alexander, Purple Pill Perspective, Big Assassin 80, Johnny Hellcat, the first ever viewer of the Morning Night Live. Also, good morning to Hey Larry, Becca Fairley, TOS, good morning, Maddie, my news chick, and also, let's see, who else is here? I'm scrolling, guys. Stabbing Joe Scarborough, keeping the knives sharp. Mr. Kane is one of my college fraternity brothers, and like I said, this is the first time I've ever actually mentioned my show. Well, so we have this long text thread that has been going for probably 3 or 4 years. We all went to Drake University, and we started this text thread about 3 years ago, and we text each other all the time. And I put links to my stuff in the text messages, but I don't think they've ever noticed them until today. I think specifically because I said, if you're bored, watch my show. Anyway, good morning also to Cynical Lindsay, D.I. Freighter Watcher, the Pissed Off Shih Tzu, Bear Cock. Did we determine that it's Bear Cock, not Bear Coke or Bear Koch? I think it's Bear Cock. Anyway, also, let's see, who else is here? Oh, and we have our first Super Chat of the day. And unfortunately, what's going on with my Streamlabs here? It's not even working, so I can't even read it right now. Hopefully that'll get fixed pretty soon. But anyway, it was from someone named IP Freely. That's a good name, IP Freely. Welcome to the show with the 556, and I'll read the chat as soon as my computer starts working. Let's see if it shows up over here. I got an idea. I'm gonna go to another place. It's right over here. Well, actually, it's for you. It's over here, but that's where my other screen is. Let's see if I can pull it up on my other screen. I'm having computer problems today, guys, so it may be a rough show. I'm just telling you. While I'm waiting for that, also good morning to Cynical Lindsay, Zombie Teddy. Let's see, I said Zach Osborne already. Gunfox61 is in the house. Fantastic. And well, now my dashboard's finally working, but this isn't working. Do I have to refresh this whole damn thing? I might have to refresh my stream here. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Let's check this. Oh, I have a balance in my account. Oh, this is awesome. I did not even know that my Streamlabs account, you don't have to go through PayPal anymore on Streamlabs. See, they don't even tell you. They don't even tell you. Maybe it's because I've been doing this for 400 plus shows. Anyway, let's see if I can find the super chat here. Where's the fuck it. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, all right, let's get into the show. Let's talk. Oh, Jaeger Pony, what's happening? I see you there. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Jacob Blake's mom, who had an interview with Don Lemon yesterday on CNN, the venerable CNN. Here's the Washington Times article. Jacob Blake's mother tells Don Lemon she has the utmost respect for Trump. Don, that's the face Don has. That's not the actually one. I wanted this sound. And it's not working either. God, everything's going batty today. Anyway, all right, let's do this. The mother of Jacob Blake, a black man whose police-involved shooting sparked riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin, said Tuesday she has the utmost respect for President Trump and thinks the destruction plaguing her city is disgusting. Speaking on CNN's Don Lemon in a Skype interview, Julia Jackson slammed the rioters who are using her son's name as an excuse to loot and burn businesses. Now, rather than read this article, I'm just going to let you watch. We're going to watch the interview instead, because it's much better that way. So let's see. Let's just hear it from her. And wait, before we, gosh dang it, what's going on with my computer here? Let's see if we can fix this. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I hate to do the technical stuff while we're doing the show, but sometimes we have to. So that's what we're going to do. And if my computer ever decides to work, all right, let's do this. Hang on just a minute. Sorry, gang. Talk amongst yourself. There's the good morning, Select a Boy too, and I don't have my sound effects, so I can't do my special effect for him. And you know what this reminds me of? Manamana dee 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 dee. Manamana dee 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 dee. Manamana dee 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 dee. But probably not nearly as entertaining. Hey, I got a question for you. Let's do the question of the day. Because I am old enough to have seen the very first episode of Sesame Street. And I don't know what made me think of this. Maybe Mana, because I want to ask how many people in the chat have seen the episode of Sesame Street or the skit on Sesame Street of that song. If you've heard it, put a 1 in the chat. If you haven't heard it, put a 2 in the chat. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, put any other number. The song called Mana Mana. Dee 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 dee. Manamana dee 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 dee. Phenomena. Is that good filler, guys? Is that good filler? Is that good filler or not? Let me see if I can get my damn computer fixed, though. I'm sorry that I have to do this during the show. I might have to actually reload Streamlabs, and so we may have a pause here. But I promise we'll get it fixed. And, of course, this is the day I have technical difficulties on the day that my friends, a couple of my friends are probably in the chat. This is embarrassing as hell. But we'll get through it, guys. We'll get through it. I promise we'll get through it. All right. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, guys. See. By the way, Gamer of Lead, are you here yet? I might take you up on your offer because I may need some remote help with my computer because I just have something configured wrong, and I know that's the kind of stuff that you do, and I would really appreciate that if you are still willing to help me out because I am sometimes a technical midget even though I play a tech guy on the internet. All right, let's see if at least this much worked. Let's see if my chat comes up. It's not, which is pissing me off. Let me try something else, though. Ah, the bell works. Good morning, Kingslayer Damocles. Good morning. I said Jaeger Pony also. Anyone else I missed? All right. Kyra Alexander, what's up? All right, here we go. That was your show, Sesame Street. Pre-Elmo days is my jam. Yeah, I saw the first Sesame Street. My mother was a teacher. And back in 1969, she knew that PBS was going to put this new show out. And it was before I think I was going to preschool. Maybe I was going to kindergarten. I can't remember. All I remember is that before we left for school, she put the show on. It was Sesame Street. It was like, oh, these puppets and stuff. You know, and you're a kid, you don't know that this hasn't been out there forever because you don't know what's on TV. But it was Sesame. Don't know if it's Sesame Street. It was the Muppet Show. I'm not really sure. Oh, yay! It's working. Thank you. All right, this is IP Freely's 556 super chat. Thank you. It says 404 podcast not found. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, let's talk about. All right, here we go. Let's watch Mrs. Jackson speak to Don Lemon. And we'll put the volume on
the destruction that has been taking place in cities across the country and in Kenosha. I heard you speak about that. And my question is, you said that you don't want that in Jacob's name, and neither would he. Tell me more about that, please.
Absolutely not. My family and I are very hurt and, quite frankly, disgusted. And as his mother, please don't burn up property and cause havoc and tear your own homes down in my son's name. You shouldn't do it. People shouldn't do it anyway. But to use my child or any other mother or father's child, our tragedy, to react in that manner is just not acceptable. And it's not helping Jacob. It's not helping Jacob or any other of the men or women who has suffered in these areas.
All right, before he goes to this question, it's interesting because there's been a series. Someone had a series of tweets yesterday showing that almost every single relative who's been interviewed regarding the protest turning into riots have said pretty much the same thing. And I have the utmost respect for this woman. I saw what you did there, Zach Osborne. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. And I never meant to make your daughter cry. Okay, so I'll stop that. Anyway, let's listen to Don is here because I'm pretty sure Don is not going to get the answer he was expecting here. But let's go on.
You have anything to say, Ms. Jackson, to the politicians who are out there?
By the way, watch Don Lemon's face.
Anything you want to say? To the presidents or the candidates or to Trump or Biden or anything like
presidents.
that?
Well, wait. Let me tell you why this is a stupid question, too. One, why? Which politicians should she have things that she wants to say to? Now, anyway, let me get her answer. Hang on.
For our President Trump, first I want to say a family member, and I don't know if it was heard or not, said something that was not kind. She is hurting, and I do apologize for that. Our outburst that does not reflect our behavior. And
Don Lemon's face. But she continues.
And also for President Trump, I'm sorry I missed your call.
Donald Trump attempted to call her.
Because had I not missed your call, maybe the comments that you made would have been different. And I'm not mad at you at all. I have most respect for you as the leader of our country. Like I said before, and I'm not saying this to him directly, we should always get the details from the right source.
Oh, my pause game was not good there. Poor Don.
Before we start throwing bricks.
This hurts Don so bad. I feel bad for Don Lemon. But, you know, worst journalist of the year, Don Lemon, worst journalist of the year. Again, he's fishing for something else. And the other thing too, regardless of what to think of the president, you know what I think about him. I think he's a jackass. But you know what? That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes when all you deal with is jackasses, it doesn't hurt to be a jackass. But anyway, one thing that I do respect the president for, and well, there's several things. There's several things I wish he would stop doing, but what he does do, and what he has done in almost all these incidents, is he has reached out to the families of these people in the high-profile shootings, killings, whatever. He talked to the Floyd family, and Floyd's mother was somewhat complimentary of the fact that Donald Trump called her. She talked to the Arbery family. He had the Arbery family, and I think, who was the other one? He had a bunch of the families at the White House and sat and talked and listened to them. And that's one thing that he does that I don't think he gets credit for, that he reaches out to these people in these high-profile incidents and talks to them and tries to learn from them and whatnot. So, you know, more power to him and more power to Mrs. Jackson here, because, you know, she definitely, I can't imagine the pain that she's going through. There's also an article in the Federalist here. Jacob Blake's mother pleads for peace amid Kenosha rioting. Julia Blake, the mother of Jacob Blake, who was shot by police in Kenosha Sunday night, expressed how disgusted she is at the people who hijacked her son's shooting for their own gain. You saw what you said there. Well, I'll quote it again. To use my child or any other mother or father's child are tragedy. To react in that manner is just not acceptable, and it's not helping Jacob or any of the other men and women who have suffered in these areas, she added. Destructive, violent, or fatal riots erupted in Kenosha, Wisconsin after police shot Jacob Blake, a black man. They got to make sure of that. 7 times in the back, leaving him partially paralyzed. According to the family's attorney, 3 of Blake's children saw the shooting occur from a nearby vehicle. And then she continues, my family and I are hurt, quite frankly disgusted, as his mother, please don't burn up property and cause havoc or tear your own homes down in my son's name. You shouldn't do it anyway. Well, anyway, is my addition to that sentence. So there's my bell in a really inopportune time. Now his family spoke at a press conference here. Now I haven't seen this. We'll watch this too. Jacob Blake's family spoke at a press conference in front of the Kenosha County Courthouse just a few moments ago. This was yesterday, or no, this is 2 days ago. I'm sorry. He says, I noticed a lot of damage that does not reflect my son or my family, his mother said. I also have been praying even before this for healing in our country, she continued. Here's what she said in front of the press conference there. Let's see if we can hear it. Okay, it looks like it's very difficult to hear. Okay, that's almost impossible to hear. Sorry about that. So we'll stop that. Anyway, what she said there is, I have also been praying even before this for healing on our country. Take a look at your hand, whatever shade it is. It is beautiful as well. How dare we hate what we are? We are human. So, again, amazing poise in the tragedy that is. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to close that window. Hang on a second here. Let me fix this. Now, other news though regarding that. So, the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Excuse me. There's a lot of interesting stuff because a lot of people have seen just the very first video that came out, where you can't really see what's going on the other side of the car. Jacob Blake comes around the car, goes inside the car as the police are following him, and apparently was reaching into the car. And remember, they say it was a domestic violence call, but actually this was the call to the police in this case, the 911 call where the woman is saying, he's in my house. I don't want him here. He doesn't belong here. And as they get information about him, they know that he's a convicted felon on a warrant. He has a warrant for his arrest. So as they're trying to arrest him, he fights with the police. They try to tase him. For whatever reason, the taser didn't work. They're wrestling with him on the ground. He somehow gets away. And apparently, let me read this article first. Wisconsin Department of Justice finds Jacob Blake had a weapon on the floorboard of his car. Now, this is new information. There's a lot of new information. The other thing about this that pisses me off, I have the 3 to 5 day rule on all of these types of incidents, because if you start making comments the very first day or only based on one angle of a video or 30 seconds of information, it's very easy to get things wrong. That's why I say, anything like this, wait 3 to 5 days. And there's a whole lot of different information coming out since that one viral video that some people have only seen that still. For example, there's a video from a second angle that shows him fighting with the police and getting away from them as they follow him around the car. Now, is this, I still can't, this new information, whether this makes it a justified shooting or not, it's new information that we didn't have before. The Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation reported late on Wednesday that Jacob Blake, the man who was shot by a police officer in Kenosha on Sunday, had a weapon on the floorboard of his car. Kenosha Police Department officers were dispatched to a residence at the 2800 block of 40th Street after a female officer a female caller reported that her boyfriend was present and was not supposed to be on the premises, the department said. During the incident, officers attempted to arrest Jacob Blake, age 29. Law enforcement deployed a taser to attempt to stop Mr. Blake. However, the taser was not successful in stopping Mr. Blake. Mr. Blake walked around the vehicle, opened the driver's side door, and leaned forward while holding on to Mr. Blake's shirt. Officer Rustin Shesky, is that right? Yeah, fired his service weapon 7 times. The department continued. The department said that officers immediately rendered aid to Blake. During the investigation following the incident, Mr. Blake admitted he had a knife in his possession. The department added, DCI agents recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. A search of the vehicle located no additional weapons. Now you go back and watch that video after knowing that information, and as you watch him reaching into the car, he wasn't getting into the car. If you have watched the video now, you can see, he wasn't getting into the car. He was reaching into the car, and it looked like he was reaching towards the floor. Where did they find the knife? Towards the floor of the car. And I don't know. They still don't have. They haven't given any information on whether he was, drunk or high or anything like that. I don't know if that matters or not. But as I watched, even when I watched this the very first time, you see that he's scuffling with police, and he's not. Look. My advice to anyone, when you hear the words, "You're under arrest," cooperate and live to fight in the court. And I'm not saying that the state, look, the state shouldn't have the ultimate power, but in this case, you have warrants out, or they tell you there's a warrant for your arrest. Does fighting the police officer do you any good whatsoever? I'm just not sure. Wait a minute, see. I used to wait to gather information. Get off maybe late to the party, but I wanted to get it right. Yeah, Maddie, exactly. That's why I have my 3 to 5 day rule. Especially on these big controversial things. Although I gotta tell you, the one where I failed on the 3 to 5 day rule, but I was absolutely 100% right. My favorite story from last year, and you all know what that is. Hey, Jussie, what you wanna do? Hey, Jussie, I get some Subway too. Yeah, Jussie Smollett. There was the first time I heard the story, I'm like, there's something wrong with this story. Good morning, Gamer Valine. How you doing? Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. Also, good morning to the gayest person on YouTube, Cairo Alexander. Who else is popular? Oh, Selected Boy. Yeah, there we go. Boy. That shit's working now. Good morning, Kessler. And there's Zach Osborne. I think I already said hi to. There's some people I missed that I was having technical. Oh, there's a new name. A new-ish name. And what was that? What was that name? It was Atheist something. Where the hell did that game go? Molly Mags, what's up? I see you're here too. Atheist Icon. Good morning. Nice to have you at the show. All right, continuing. When DCI is the lead investigative agency of a shooting involving a law enforcement officer, DCI aims to provide a report of the incident to the prosecutors within 30 days, the statement concluded. The prosecutor then reviews the report and makes a determination about what charges, if any, are appropriate. If the prosecutor determines there are no basis for prosecution of a law enforcement officer, DCI will thereafter make the report available to the public. So again, this is the angle from one. Here's angle one. I'm sure you've seen it, and if my stream gets taken down, well, we'll see what happens. Good morning, Kiever Dam. What's up? So again, this guy, look, now, so here he is, and he reaches into his car towards the floorboard, and the guy's pulling it back. And I don't understand the point blank range shooting. I think his leg should have been swept. He could have pulled him out. Good morning, Cracker Bob, too. So that's that angle. But then at this angle, this is the angle where you can see him fighting with the police. It's a little bit harder to see, but he's down here on the ground. Or no, he's there. They're going to arrest him. Now they take him to the ground. You can barely see it. I wonder if I can blow this up here. Oh, you can't even see it because I don't have it on the screen. God, way to go, Boomer. Call me Boomer. Just call me Boomer. Oh, was he saying that? I don't know. Good morning, Hypnagogic Monk. Nice to see you back. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't have the camera on there. Silly me. So as we know, the shooting quickly sparked Black Lives Matter riot in the city that resulted in businesses being destroyed, a church being burned to the ground, and cars being smashed. I'll tell you what, there was a couple car lots that I've seen pictures of where every car in the lot looked like, what's that movie? Mel Gibson movie, Mad Max? Looked like a scene from Mad Max Car Graveyard. Anyway, all right, let's keep going here. Now there's another problem in more closer to where I live. In Minnesota, the Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin et al. The prosecution has a slight problem that probably people are not aware of. And I said from the very beginning, in this case with George Floyd, that the officers probably liable for negligent homicide, manslaughter, murder 3 in Minnesota. They call it murder 3 here. Because they lacked situational awareness that George Floyd was dying beneath them. As you look, now the more that I look at the angle of Chauvin's knee on the neck, which was stupid anyway, that they held there for 8 minutes when they have him they have him contained. I guess, some places train that way because rather than using your hands where the person can turn their head and bite you, they say they have him use the knee. But I think that technique's going to go away just because of this case. But as I've said, the city is liable, the officers are liable for basically negligence, murder 3, because they should have been aware that Floyd was dying or, stopped breathing, and they should have immediately attempted to revive him. They failed to do that. Murder 2 requires intent. And I know some people are trying to say, yeah, Derek Chauvin wanted to kill that man. I doubt it. And for sure, the other 3 officers didn't. 2 of those officers were still in training with Derek Chauvin as their trainer, which is a little bit frightening. And the 4th officer is just trying to keep the crowd away. But again, because of their situational awareness or lack thereof, they should be charged and convicted of some sort of negligent homicide. The problem is, our trusty, dusty attorney general has decided that they are going to be charged with murder 2, and now they have a new problem. And that new problem is they have a dirty little secret. The medical examiner's memorandum on Floyd's toxicology report proves the cause of death to be a drug overdose, not a murder. Again, let's say this is 100% true. Who knows how this is going to play out in courts. But if this is true, you're not going to get a murder 2 conviction, but you would still get the murder 3 conviction because of the officer's lack of situational awareness. Had they acted sooner, they might have been able to revive Mr. Floyd, but again, until you hear that the overdose is, or at least they wouldn't be in the situation they're in being accused of murder because Floyd died, even if Floyd would have died anyway. Here it goes. On May 29, 2020, Hennepin County Attorney's Office charged former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin with 3rd-degree murder, later raised to 2nd degree by Minnesota's Attorney General. That'd be Keith Ellison. If you know who Keith Ellison is, he's a piece of work. Anyway, the death of George Floyd. Former officers Thomas Lane, J. Alexander Koenig, and Do Tao were also charged with aiding and abetting the murder of Floyd. Now, and again, these are officers in training. I don't know that it's hard to hold them liable, but again, if you have the situational awareness argument, then yes, absolutely you charge all 4 of them. But anyway, these charges were based on the autopsy performed by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office and a private re-autopsy performed at the request of Floyd's family attorney. Based on those procedures, the medical examiner issued a revised autopsy report stating that Floyd had died of cardiopulmonary arrest complicating law enforcement. Cardiopulmonary arrest complicating law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression. In short, George Floyd's death was allegedly caused by the manner in which the police had restrained him. But the police defendants were charged before the medical examiner had received the report of Floyd's toxicology screen by NMS Labs of Horsham, Pennsylvania. Then on May 31st, 2020, NMS Labs forwarded Floyd's toxicology report to the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office, and that's when the proverbial fecal matter hit the fan. For those who are translating in France, the shit hit the fan. At 7:30 p.m. on May 31st, 2020, prosecutors met online with Dr. Andrew Baker, Chief Medical Examiner of Hennepin County, to discuss Floyd's toxicology report. Take a look at this recently released June 1, 2020 memorandum by Assistant County Attorney Amy Sweezy of that discussion. So here's the discussion. Here it is on May 31st, 2020. Hennepin County Attorney Patrick Lofton and I met with Dr. Andrew Baker on Microsoft Teams. All three of us were in different locations. Dr. Baker said he had recently received the final toxicology report results from George Floyd's samples, which were analyzed by NMS Labs. AB shared a screen and showed us the results. He said that where it says, quote, hospital blood, end quote, those samples are from Mr. Floyd's hospital admission and were not acquired at autopsy, meaning they took a blood sample immediately after the incident and sent that sample out to the lab. However, the time of the autopsy, which was much later, I don't know how it would have. Anyway, here's the point. AB said these samples are better for determining actual blood toxicity than samples taken at the autopsy. Samples taken at autopsy may have undergone post-mortem distribution. I think that's self-explanatory. AB walked us down a list of substances for which NMS Labs tested. Those values he highlighted were, let's see, AB walked us down, highlighted were, now this is 4-ANPP, a precursor and metabolite of fentanyl present in Mr. Floyd's blood. Methamphetamine, 19 nanograms per milliliter, which he described as very near the low end and a stimulant hard on the heart. Fentanyl, 11. He said that's pretty high. This level of fentanyl can cause pulmonary edema. Mr. Floyd's lungs were 2 to 3 times their normal weight at autopsy. That is a fatal level of fentanyl under normal circumstances. And then norfentanyl 5.6, a metabolite of fentanyl. Mr. Floyd's urine was tested for 4 things and are redundant given the blood analysis. AB said, the only thing that matters is what's in the blood. AB said that if Mr. Floyd had been found dead in his home or anywhere else, and there were no other contributing factors, he would conclude that it was an overdose death. Oh, I did not. Shoot, I never unblocked Chadwick Dupree. I'll have to make sure we do that. Good morning, Anna Lynn. How you doing? And Kessler, how you doing? Good morning. So there they were, staring at the just received and damning toxicology report that blew to smithereens the whole prosecution theory that the police had killed Floyd. To their undoubted dismay, Dr. Baker, the chief medical examiner, had to concede that 11 nanograms per milliliter, Floyd had a fatal level of fentanyl under normal circumstances. He also conceded that the fentanyl overdose can cause pulmonary edema, a frothy fluid built up in the lungs that was evidenced by the finding at autopsy that Floyd's lungs weighed 2 to 3 times the normal weight. This is consistent with Officer King's observation at the scene that Floyd was foaming at the mouth and, as found at autopsy, his lungs were diffusely congested and, I don't know what this word is, edematious, I don't know, whatever that means. Any medical people in there? Edematious. EDEMATOUS. Somebody look that up and tell me what that means. Good morning. They already said hi. So, in other words, like a drowned man, Floyd's lungs were filled with fluid. And that was the obvious and inescapable reason why Floyd kept shouting over and over again that he couldn't breathe, even when he was upright and mobile. Remember, he was saying he was saying he couldn't breathe when they were still walking him to his car. He couldn't breathe. Remember? You see that in the some of the later videos that have come out. The memorandum ends with Dr. Baker's devastating conclusion that if Floyd had been found dead in his home, we already read this, or anywhere else, and there were no other contributing factors, he would have concluded that it was an overdose death. Translation: this toxicology report drives a stake through the heart of a murder case. How do we justify criminally charging these police officers and explain away our colossal screw up? Well, the way you do it right now is because, and I said it over and over, if it was murder 3, it'd be tough, but it's filled with fluid. It's edema of the lungs. Thank you, Gamer Verleen, for looking that up. And also good morning to Uncle Bobbity. If it's filled with fluids, no, that was what I was going to say. Oh, if he weren't charged with murder 2, you may get a conviction out of it because of the lack of situational awareness, which is negligent homicide, murder 3. also known as manslaughter in some states. But then you got to wonder, if this is the case and his lungs were filled with fluid and he was dying, would they have been able to save him? So again, their situational awareness is what's getting their lack of situational awareness is why they're charged with this anything. Had they had situational awareness, I keep saying that over and over, they may have realized that he was failing and they needed to get him upright, or at least something other than on the ground. And maybe it would be easier to just, I don't know. They're going to be acquitted of murder too, and all hell is going to break loose in my city. I'm not happy about that. Good morning, Zan Wild. What's happening? Can't stay, have a Zoom meeting, but wanted to say hello and drop a thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, anyway, so that's that. Enough about that. This is not going to get better, folks. It's just not. It's just not. All right, let me do the shill for now because I haven't done it yet. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, everybody in the chat and otherwise, share the stream out. You can do that by clicking that share arrow down there and share it out on your favorite social media or whatever. It gives you many choices. I've told you the choices many times. Or you can follow me on Twitter, Minds Gab, or Parler. Now, I'm very active on Twitter. Not so much at all on Minds Gab or Parler. I post on Parler once in a while, but mostly on Twitter. You can follow me there, and I do notifications for those. I know some of you have been kicked off of Twitter or just hate Twitter because it's a garbage fire. I'm telling you, Twitter's trash. But man, if you like to watch people argue like I do, you'll like Twitter. Also, if you'd be so kind, if you're watching on a replay, please leave a comment in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up button, everybody. And I'll remind you at the end, too, because I know you like me. So hit the like button. It's that thumbs up thing. And then if you'd like to do donations or super chats, things like that, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below or at pdawgnight.live right there. Or if you just want to do donations, you can do that through Cash App or through Venmo. So that's that. All right. Donatello Slapperfellas in the house. So is Straight Sith Mail. Good morning to you, my friends. And Aloysius Fudpucker, too. I still love that name. I don't know who came up with that. Well, you did, obviously. Aloysius Fudpucker. Just sounds like, I don't know. All right. Let's move on. What else we got? Oh, let's talk about... I kind of want to make this... Oh, I'm sorry. I have some thank yous, too. I got thank you. Thank you for the people who retweeted the show so far. We've got Zachy Get Your Gun, a.k.a. Zach Osborne. Also, Tyler F., Cynical Lindsay, Maddie, Becca Fairley. Thank you so much for tweeting out the show. It always helps to tweet it out because we get more people watching, and then we have more fun. You get more people to yell at the chat. It's just a great thing. And we have our new super chat, and also the news. A new chat superstar of the day. That would be Johnny Hellcat, the first viewer of the Morning Night Live ever, who says, thank you for the $5.99, by the way. This kind of reminds me of the riddle of a man jumping off a cliff and a guy shooting him as he falls, or something like that. I certainly wouldn't want to be on that jury. Yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? You get a bell for that one. Yeah, I mean, it's or it's kind of like the guy who got the motorcycle accident, but they found out he had coronavirus, right? Anyway, all right, moving on. So now, this is a Breitbart article. Just take it with a grain of salt. Well, not with a grain of salt. I think Breitbart's reliable. They just have a very specific slant, and I just like to acknowledge that. I know that a lot of my sources tend to be from the right, but I at least want to acknowledge that I realize that, unlike Tim Pool. So anyway, law enforcement requested 750 National Guard members in Kenosha Tuesday, and Governor Evers sent 250. Yeah, I think the police and the National Guard were like outnumbered like 5-1. Anyway, authorities in Kenosha, Wisconsin requested 750 National Guard members to assist in quelling the unrest in the city, but Governor Tony Evers rejected the White House's offer. Gosh, I can't talk today either. The White House's offer to assist with the request, and only provided 250 members as the night descended into chaos, leaving 2 dead and 1 more wounded. Now, the 2 dead, well, that's regarding that kid, and I'll talk about that a little bit too. The Democratic governor declared a state of emergency Tuesday following 2 nights of civil unrest, while he increased Wisconsin National Guard support from 125 to 250. The local authorities told the White House that they needed at least 750 in anticipation for Tuesday night's protests. You know what's happening there? So if you're not familiar with that part of the country, Kenosha is right near the Illinois border, and the Chicago suburbs kind of meander up north. They don't necessarily go off to the border, but it's not, the proximity to Chicago is not, it's not that far off, right? Well, apparently there's a lot of protesters from Illinois and a lot of people coming up from Illinois to either be protesters or, in the case of the kid who is being charged with first-degree murder, we'll get to that. He was from Illinois too. A lot of people are trying to get in on the action. In fact, a lot of people, I've been watching, there's a lot of these riot chasers, I'll call them now. They're people who do live streams from riots. If you watch the Eyes On channel, who puts several streams up, there's some of these same people who are in Portland, some of the same people who are in Seattle. A lot of them are now in Kenosha, Wisconsin, doing live streams. That's where in fact, the kid who killed the 2 people, I saw footage of that the same night because someone was there live streaming and happened to catch it on camera. But as far as the request from the city versus the request from the governor, there's a kind of a disconnect there. According to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, advisor Ben Williamson, Evers declined the White House offers to provide 500 guards needed to fill the gap. And the violence reached an entirely different level, leaving 2 dead and 1 wounded as a result of last night's protests. Yeah, kind of. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. The president was on the phone with the governor today as well, Meadows said during Tuesday's appearance on Tucker Carlson Tonight. We have a National Guard standing by that if the general for the National Guard needs additional help, we're there to do it. But today that request was denied by the governor, he said. On Wednesday, Evers authorized 500 members of the Wisconsin National Guard to aid local law enforcement in anticipation of escalating violence. So that's, here's Tony Evers' decree, so to speak. In a Tuesday statement prior to the night's deadly protests, Evers appeared to stand in solidarity with the demonstrators, but acknowledged that the line between peaceful assembly and what we saw last night that put individuals, families, and businesses in danger. And we have another super chat. Thank you, Gamer Valine, with the 749, and you are the superstars founder of the day. I love saying that. I'm gonna get more and more excited every time I say that. Our new superstar donor of the day is Gamer Valine with the 749. Said he should have sent about 350. I'll see myself out. Thank you, Gamer Valine. I appreciate you. That was fantastic. Okay. Good morning, Midnight in Exile too. So Evers continued tonight and in the days ahead. If you're going to protest, please do so peacefully and safely. Please do not allow actions of a few distract us from work we must do together to demand justice, equity, and accountability. He pleaded as a part of a greater Twitter thread. We are assessing the damage to state property and will be increasing the presence of Wisconsin National Guard to ensure individuals can exercise their right safely, protect state buildings and critical infrastructure, and support first responders and firefighters. So that's his tweet thread there. I'm not going to go through that again. Yeah, Kenosha, is Kenosha going to be the new Portland? I doubt it. Portland's still raging and going on. Let's talk about this shooter, though. This is let me get rid of the Daily Caller's ad here. So this Kenosha shooter, this kid, 17 years old, is being charged with first-degree murder. Now, this is another one of those where I think they may be jumping the gun a little bit. Interesting. Here, let me move here. The alleged shooter from Tuesday night's Kenosha riots has been charged with first-degree murder, according to reports. 2 people were killed in Kenosha, Wisconsin, late Tuesday night, with videos showing one individual getting shot in the head. According to a Lake County, Illinois complaint, the shooter was listed as a fugitive from justice and wanted for first-degree intentional homicide. The complaint alleged shooter fled Wisconsin after the shooting with the intent to avoid prosecution for that offense. Well, here's the thing. He's from Illinois, so I don't know if that's fleeing or if that's he just went home. But anyway, the alleged shooter is in custody as being held in a juvenile facility in Illinois, according to ABC7. Daily caller Richie McGinnis interviewed the suspect just before the incident occurred. This is fascinating. The man armed with a rifle standing outside a local business told McGinnis that his job was to protect this business, and if there's somebody's hurt, I'm running into harm's way. Here's the interview he had with Richie McGinnis, here's the guy, and I don't know how long this is.
What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed, and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night, so what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously. But I also have my med kit.
So, yeah, he was there. I volunteer to protect the building. I don't know if he had any relationship with the business owner. I don't know any more details than that. However, moments later, gunfire erupts according to video footage posted on Twitter. So someone named Shelby Talcott, another angle of the shooting, and moments after can see Richie McGinnis and others on the scene giving aid. He was right next to the victim when the shooting happened. So I don't know if you can see what you can see here. So apparently, I don't know what's happening here. This is the, all right, I'm going to, let's see. So this is, okay, so this is a different shooting. Apparently, there's the kid right there. This shooting was not him. This is him going over there to give aid to the person who was injured. Now, that's fascinating. And before we move on, we got a new super chat here. Jaeger Pony, new superstar donor of the day. And one of my favorite super chat numbers, 999, just like Herman Cain. That's the Herman Cain donation with the 999. Jaeger Pony says, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Reparations coffee. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Reparations coffee. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee in the custom 2020 for fuck's sake cup. You can find that on PDawgKnight.live in the merch tab. Knock yourself out. Buy one today. Also, I have the 2020 for fuck's sake safety masks on the Teespring link. That's also down in the description. You can get one down there. Back to the article. The video appears to show the suspect in a green shirt, armed with a rifle, walk toward an individual who had collapsed on the ground after being shot in the head. He then runs away from the scene past the cameraman, and a voice in the video can be heard saying what sounds like, "I just killed somebody." So maybe he did shoot that person. I don't know. They've been. I'm not sure that situation. Then McGinnis also rushed to the scene and is shown ripping his shirt off to use as a bandage for the victim. McGinnis and other bystanders administer first aid to the victim. The group then carries the victim to a hospital, which was across the street, according to the videos. Another video shows what appears to be the shooter running away while a group of individuals chase after him. One person tries to tackle what appears to be the shooter. He then seems to fire his rifle multiple times before getting up. The suspect then appears to run towards police officers with his hands up. An individual in the video can be heard screaming, "Hey, hey," he just shot them. The shooter then appears to walk past the police officers. Tell you what, rather than play this video. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm just not going to take any chances to get my stream taken down for this one because this one's a little more graphic. As soon as I get this pop up here, give me a second. And here we go. All right, so we're not gonna show this one, but if you want to see that footage, there it goes in the chat, and we're gonna close that now. There we go. Anyway, you can see them chasing him down. They're on top of me, and you can. And in fact, that particular one, several people are on him. You see one guy pull a pistol out, and that's when the shots come out, and then he tries to go with his hands up to the police, but then he runs away because the people were yelling that he just shot somebody. The video then ends, and it's unclear where the suspect shooter went next. Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth was said armed people had been patrolling the city streets in recent nights, making it difficult to determine if the alleged gunman was among them, according to the Associated Press. They are militia, Beth said. They're like a vigilante group. Kenosha police confirmed that 2 people were killed and a 3rd person was injured, though it is unclear if the victims shown in the video are the 2 individuals that were killed. So here's the Kenosha Police Department media release on August 25th, 2020 at about 11:45 p.m. Kenosha Police, along with the assisting agencies, responded to the area of 63rd Street and Sheridan for reports of shots being fired and multiple gunshot victims. The shooting resulted in 2 fatalities, and a 3rd gunshot victim was transported to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting investigation is active and ongoing. No further details regarding the shooting will be released at this time. No names, ages, or cities of residence for the victims. Or they are still being determined. So then they ask for witnesses, etc. Now, social media posts allegedly belonging to the shooter show several photos of him with Blue Lives Matter flags and insignia, according to an insider. Insider. I'm like, what insider? Who do they know? I don't know. Inside the website. Good morning, Chrome. How you doing? A photo that has been since removed from 2017 showed him dressed in as a safety cadet, a program for youths interested in law enforcement at Target, per the same report. The alleged shooter was taken into custody Wednesday morning in Antioch, Illinois, on suspicion of first-degree intentional homicide, according to the spokesman for the Lake County Sheriff's Office, Chris Covelli. The alleged shooter appears in adult court Wednesday morning and is set to appear back in court Friday. Covelli said the charges against the suspected shooter are in Wisconsin, and he will have due process rights to extradition. Riots began Sunday night following the shooting of Jacob Blake. We all know that one. So, it's going to be interesting because the property he was protecting was not his. I don't know if he has a right to do that or not. I don't know. I don't know the laws in Wisconsin, how this works. Good morning, Denise Steele. Good morning, Jim Jones. Those are 2 new names that I have not seen. Please don't drink anything Jim Jones gives you in the chat. Thank you. But you can certainly listen to what Jim has to say. And then Denise Steele, I don't know if you've been here before. By the way, if you're new here, if you are new here, please subscribe and click that little bell thingy so that you get notifications, or you can just follow me on one of those things up there. Twitter preferred, but you know what? If you're one of those band people, I don't mean like people who play clarinets, like my friend Mr. Kane. By the way, I'm going to put some of Mr. Kane's music on this channel someday because it's really good. I really like his he does a Dixieland band out of Des Moines, Iowa. They are fantastic. But don't drink anything Jim Jones give you. Good morning, Straight Sith Mail. Good morning to somebody else. Attack Alpaca. How you doing? All right. Next article. More regarding the this young man, Richie McGinnis, who has details about the shooting in Kenosha that left 1 dead. This is one of the guys who's on the scene for the Daily Caller. Let's see if they have video. I'll just play video. Yeah, let's watch this little section of Tucker here with Richie McGinnis talking about the shooting that took place. If it'll load. Mr. Kane, are you still here? Just curious. Anyway. All right, let's go. Come on. I'm going to get this fixed. Oh, Gamer Valine, you're here. I might take you up on that offer. I think it's more something to do with my processor than it does, or how I have things routed through my processors and my GPU. We'll figure it out, hopefully. Holy God! Computer, load! Motherfucker. Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. We'll just anyway. Daily Caller reporter Richie McGinnis made a Wednesday night appearance on Tucker Carlson tonight to discuss his experience. Mr. Kane is one of my college friends, and if one of these days, Mr. Kane, maybe you can help me facilitate this. I'm going to do a show just with a bunch of my college friends. We're going to talk about things that we kind of talk about in our ongoing 3-year-long text message thread, and which may not have anything to do with politics because we talk about a lot of funny shit, and we're gonna maybe we'll give you an example. Okay, so McGinnis was standing next to the man who was shot in the head Tuesday night. Video showed McGinnis rushing to try to save the man's life, taking his shirt off, use it as a bandage, and carrying the man to a car to be transported to a hospital. The man later died. Initially, I encountered the shooter at a business that had been burned that night previously. McGinnis told Tucker Carlson, we actually saw some of those people who worked at the business and some of the owners of the business trying to put fires out themselves. McGinnis encountered the alleged shooter before the shooting took place and interviewed him. Here we go. Finally, let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, here we go. We'll start this at the beginning. Good Lord. This damn... Oh my God, come on. You know, I hate technical difficulties. This isn't boomer vision. This is boomer computer vision, and it ain't work. There we go.
Class war. Remember that. Richie McGinnis found himself in the middle of all of it last night in Kenosha. He runs the video
and of
operation
course,
over at the Daily Caller.
We get another super chat right in the middle of our pause. Johnny Hellcat with the $2.99 who says, language? What fucking language? Come on, Johnny Hellcat. Oh, wait a minute. Are your kids in the room? Do you have kids? I don't know. I should probably watch my language. Anyway, thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the $2.99. I appreciate it.
In the video we played a moment ago, you saw him trying to save that man's life with his T-shirt, unsuccessfully, sadly. Richie McGinnis joins us tonight. Richie, what did you see? First to the video that we played, which was just remarkable. What were the immediate circumstances around that?
Well, Tucker, we were out all night, and I initially encountered the alleged shooter at a business that had been burned the night previously, and we actually saw some of those people who worked at the business and some of the owners of the business trying to put the fires out themselves. And the next night, I encountered the alleged shooter at that business, and I actually asked him a few questions on camera. And later that evening, I saw the same individual in the street, drawing a lot of attention due to the fact that he had what I thought was an AR-15 strung over his shoulder. And so a lot of people were shouting at him, at which point I basically, saw him start to run and heard the shots, and obviously you saw the rest on video.
From the video, it's not clear that there are any police around. There's a big mob, people have guns, shots are going off. Where were the cops?
Well, I'm in Kenosha with Shelby Talcott and Jorge Ventura, two of my colleagues, and we've been asking people all around town, business
by the way,
owners.
in the background there, you can see he was running from all these other people. He fell down, and then they all converged.
Who had their places looted. And, where were the police? And they said, it took 2 hours, it took an hour, it took the fire department 3 hours. So definitely they're there, but they're obviously not responding in any quick fashion.
And obviously, all the first responders of any type were completely overwhelmed. So them taking that much time to respond, again, they're outnumbered 5, maybe 10 to 1 for all it could be. Uncle Bobbity, I'm amazed that Antifa and BLM found so much hidden white supremacy in used cars lots. Their powers of deduction is incredible. Yeah, the destruction doesn't necessarily make sense, and it's certainly not helping the cause of the people who actually are out there to protest peacefully during the daylight hours, because it always seems like at night. Portland pops off at night, Seattle popped off at night, Kenosha pops off at night. It's not helping any of the people who are out there who are actually just protesting during the day. And especially the opportunists, they kind of fuck up things for everybody. The people who just, the opportunists are going to go break shit and steal shit. it doesn't help the people who are out there for an actual cause. And it certainly doesn't help the family of the victims. Or in you know, whether you want to call, you know, what's his name, the guy's a victim or not, it doesn't help his family. But sure as hell didn't help his family. And you can see that in his mother's words. So anyway, let's finish.
So the 17-year-old who I interviewed earlier in the night.
Uncle Bobbity, you shouldn't have put that in the chat. Oh my God, that song is stuck in my head now. So I was outdoors doing yard work the other day, and my wife had the portable speaker on, and that song came on, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard this song since about, let's see, when did that come out? Freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Not at night. That's by the great one album wonder Houdini. They had 3 good songs. They had Friends, The Freaks Come Out at Night, and I can't remember what the other song was. But anyway, Uncle Bobbity, you're bringing me back to the day. Back in the day, right?
He actually mentioned that he was there to maintain peace in the absence of police.
In one video that we played, he is being chased down the street. He's hit in the head with a skateboard. Why was that group of people chasing him? Do you know?
Well, I believe that the video that you're referring to took place after the initial shooting. So I think that at that point, they were basically looking for whoever had a weapon on them. And obviously, the weapon that he had was very noticeable. So I think that the video that you're referring to actually took place afterwards. But what I can say is prior to the first shooting that I witnessed, I did see a number of individuals pursuing the 17-year-old alleged shooter, and actually the individual who was shot, I did see him advance on him very closely, and you can actually see that in the video, although it's a bit far away. And I was actually maybe 6 or 7 feet behind them, so I saw it up close.
It's just hard to believe this is America. We can't put up with this. Richie McGinnis, I'm glad you're okay. Thank you for that report.
Okay, so that's the live report that was on Tucker, which show that I don't really watch it all. But all right, so let's finish this up because we're almost out of time here. Before we look at now, this is fascinating too, where I'm kind of noticing already a pattern on how they're discussing this kid. What is his name? I think they have his name, Kyle Rittenhouse. And there's a pattern already forming, or at least a narrative already forming. There's pictures. They've already been released, like pictures of him at a Trump rally in Des Moines at my former school, Drake University, and then also on, well, here. Democratic representative, they're trying to make him out to be one, a Trumper, an orange mad bad guy, and he's being described now as a white supremacist. Fascinating. Democratic Representative Ayanna Pressley calls alleged Kenosha shooter a white supremacist domestic terrorist. Now, I have a little trouble with with that without evidence. Again, this is 5-day rule, right? 3 to 5 day rule. Don't make strong determinations about anybody before you know. And so this is going to be interesting how this comes out. But I'm seeing it on Twitter a lot too. The dumpster fire known as Twitter. Democratic Massachusetts Representative Ayanna Pressley called the alleged Kenosha shooter, 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, a white supremacist domestic terrorist. I wonder if she has any choice names for any of the people burning down buildings. I'm gonna guess she doesn't. Oh, I know what she calls them. Never mind. I know exactly what she calls them. Peaceful protesters. Anyway, Rittenhouse was charged with murder on Wednesday after 2 people were shot dead Tuesday night. The video from the first shooting appears to show the alleged victim charging the shooter before shots were fired. We're not going to watch it again. First death, the Kenosha protest shooting, 2 angles. Oh, this is a different one. Oh, is this the one where, yeah, they're
boys. Yeah, that's Antifa, man. Oh, we got a gun, baby. Oh, they shooting.
Okay, we're going to stop that right now. The second victim died after appearing to chase after and lunge at the alleged shooter, who had tripped and fallen while running away from the scene of the first shooting. 17-year-old white, quote, I'm going to make sure this is a quote. Good morning, Kevin S. Quote, a 17-year-old white supremacist domestic terrorist drove across state lines armed with an AR-15, Presley wrote on Twitter. He shot and killed 2 people who had assembled to affirm the value, dignity, and worth of black lives. Now, that's fascinating because I don't know that the people in that particular situation were assembled to affirm the value, dignity, and worth of black lives. I think they were just there breaking shit. There were people there that day there to affirm the value and dignity and worth of black lives, but I don't think these people were it. I just don't. And she says also, fix your damn headlines, the Congresswoman added. Her tweet quickly went viral, earning more than 33,000 retweets and 109,000 likes on Twitter by midnight. Rittenhouse told Daily Caller chief video editor Richie McGinnis on Tuesday before the shooting that he was on the scene to help people and protect local businesses after widespread rioting and looting racked the city. So people are getting injured. Our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is also to help people, the 17-year-old told McGinnis, who later rushed to the aid of the shooting victim, using his own shirt to try to stop the bleeding. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously, but I also have my med kit. I don't know. I wasn't getting a neo-Nazi white supremacist vibe from the kid, but again, that narrative is going to blow up thanks to people like Representative Presley and parts of the media who are hell-bent on tying this kid to Trump, which is fine. He was at a Trump rally. I might say that it's probably a bit unrelated, so to speak, you know. I think the kid, just if you watch that interview, it generally seemed like he was there to help somebody. He thought he was helping, and you know what? 17 years old, you know what the problem with 17-year-olds are? They're stupid. They're just stupid. And they don't, up right here, this part of their head, you know, this up here inside here, the frontal part, the frontal lobe, not developed, not necessarily, you know, because really your frontal lobe doesn't really start working at its fullest potential until you're about 25, and he was 17. So I don't know. But you send kids to war too, so I don't know. But again, not real. Well, Ayanna Presley should have also done the 5-day rule on this, but you know, they don't. That's not going to happen anyway. All right, let's check the news before we go because it's almost that time. Also, let's see. Let me check my messages here. Let's see here. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay. Yes. Oh, here you can see the. I'm gonna go back to Jacobs Blake's mother, Julia Jackson, just for this particular tweet, because this is her calling for unity, and I think this is important to me. This message is important. So let's listen. We're gonna listen to her message, then we'll do a quick check of the any breaking news, and then we'll call it a day. Let me get this unmuted here, and here we go.
My son has been fighting for his life.
Can you talk a little louder?
And we really just need prayers. As I was riding through here, through the city, I noticed a lot of damage. It doesn't reflect my son or my family. If Jacob knew what was going on as far as that goes, the violence and the destruction, he would be very unpleased. So I'm really asking and encouraging everyone in Wisconsin and abroad to take a moment and examine your hearts. Citizens, police officers, firemen, clergy, politicians, do Jacob justice on this level and examine your hearts.
Yes.
We need healing. As I pray for my son's healing, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I also have been praying even before this for the healing of our country. God has placed each and every one of us in this country because he wanted us to be here. Clearly you can see by now that I have beautiful brown skin, but take a look at your hand, and whatever shade it is, it's beautiful as well.
Amen. Yes.
How dare we hate what we are? We are humans. God did not make one type of tree or flower or fish or horse or grass or rock. How dare you ask him to make one type of human that looks just like you?
Wow.
I'm not talking to just Caucasian people. I am talking to everyone. White, black, Japanese, Chinese, red, brown. No one is superior to the other.
Right.
The only supreme being is God himself. Please, let's begin to pray for healing for our nation. We are the United States. Have we been united? Do you understand what's going to happen when we fall? Because a house that is against each other cannot stand.
Amen.
To all of the police officers, I'm praying for you and your families. To all of the citizens, my black and brown sisters and brothers, I'm praying for you. I believe that you are an intelligent being just like the rest of us. Everybody. Let's use our hearts, our love, and our intelligence to work together to show the rest of the world how humans are supposed to treat each other. America is great when we behave greatly. Thank you.
Hold on, no.
All right. Yeah, that's is her name Julia Jackson? I think that's right. Yeah, Julia Jackson, Jacob Blake's mother. Wow. I'm a little I'm speechless. That's an amazing speech, and the grace of that woman is just amazing to me. All right, real quick, we'll do a quick see if there's any breaking news as we do every day before we go. On the on top of the news today, First Light reveals damage left behind by the devastating Hurricane Laura, also known as Lady Boomer to some of you. Just kidding. Laura made landfall overnight near Cameron, Louisiana, with wind speeds of 150 miles an hour. On Thursday morning, Governor John Bell Edwards reported the first known fatality up from the storm. Over 500,000 customers are without power in Louisiana and Texas, according to power companies. A 14-year-old girl dies after a tree falls on a family home during the hurricane. That was the first reported fatality. Looks like they had, damaging wind and flooding, rainfall spreading inland over western and central Louisiana. That was from last night at the National Hurricane Center. And it affected mostly the western part of Louisiana, southwestern part of Louisiana and Texas. Does look like it hit New Orleans. Louisiana Governor Bell Everett says restoring electricity will not be as quick as Hurricane Laura continues to batter the state. He reminds residents to be mindful of COVID-19, saying otherwise in a couple of weeks we're going to really pay the price here with more cases. Well, God. I'm pretty sure the girl that got killed by the tree also had COVID, so they'll list it as a COVID death. Anyway, also in the breaking news area today, what do we got here? COVID gag rules that U.S. companies are putting everyone at risk. That's an interesting. Where'd that move? Let's see what that says. This is from Business Week. Staff were told not to reveal COVID infections at Amazon, McDonald's, Delta, Cargill, Target, Cheesecake Factory, and REI, among hundreds of firms that prohibit or punish talk of cases or concerns, according to workers' complaints and documents. Interesting. And someone has the meme, please shut up and work. Employees that say some of the biggest names in American business have banned them from sharing news of coronavirus cases or even raising concerns. That's going to get people killed. I haven't heard that where I work. We're still on the cases thing. I think that clearly COVID deaths are probably the more that you'd be concerned about, and the death rate, which we're pretty average as far as Western countries, but obviously it's a concern for everyone. We still have a mask mandate here in Minnesota, and at least on the inside of businesses and things like that. So we abide by them, even though we're a state that hasn't been affected nearly as badly as East Coast and Northeast Coast and whatever. Also, let's see, coronavirus tracker. Okay, don't care. Squaw Valley Ski Resort. To drop the name Squaw from the name. Are they going to just call it Valley? The resort said it will announce a new name in 2021 and will begin to use it after the end of next winter season. There you go. Our political correct news of the day. The Squaw Valley Alpine Meadows Ski Resort announced today that it plans to drop the word squaw from its name and adopt a different title next year. Now, I'm curious. Okay, let's look something up here, because does the word squaw mean anything besides what people are thinking it means? I'm curious. Let's see. Squaw. Definition of squaw is an American Indian woman, time traveler for squaw, first known as squaw 1622. Oh, I did not know that. That is actually a name. The English word squaw is an ethnic and sexual slur, according to Wikipedia, which maybe it is. I've never thought of it as maybe it could be. Okay. Now I need to know the origin. Historically used for indigenous North American women, and contemporary use of the term, especially by non-natives, is considered offensive, derogatory, misogynist, and racist. I'm giving one bell for all four of those. The English word is not used among Native Americans, First Nations, Inuit, or Metis people. Okay, well, then I wonder how the word came from. I want to know the origins of the word. Maybe Wikipedia will have some information. I hate Wikipedia, but let's see if there's any origins of the term that come up on this. Current status. Etymology. Some possibly related morphemes may include squaw, esqua, ske, squi, que, qua, eque, exque, and exque. This is all the same thing. In most colonial texts, squaw was used as a general word for indigenous women. It also became a derogatory adjective used against some men, as in squaw man, meaning either man who does woman's work, similar to other languages, or a white man married to an Indian woman and living with her people. Okay. And then there's some second. You can look this up on Wikipedia, the etymology of the word squaw. So Squaw Valley is no longer going to be Squaw Valley. Well, there's all the Squaw Valley Alpine Meadow Ski Resort. If they're going to change the name, all they have to do is drop Squaw Valley, or just drop Squaw Valley Alpine Meadow Ski Resort. Okay, all right. I guess it's derogatory. Other news. Let's see. Anything else breaking from today? 1 hour ago. Months after COVID symptoms, these people haven't felt better. Now, let me ask you something. Let's find out. When they say they haven't felt better, does it mean they feel great now, or does it mean they still aren't feeling well? That's a really poorly written or status. This is from the Toronto Star. COVID long haulers, people who never got better. Okay, that's what they meant. People who never got better. Because, these people, I haven't felt better forever. No, these mean these people still don't feel good. Or had flare-ups months later, feel like they're falling between the cracks. Now they've turned to social media to connect all over the world. Doctors still don't know why. Tracy Thompson suddenly realized she couldn't smell or taste the chicken noodle soup she was eating, but it wasn't her first symptom, and it wouldn't be her last. And months later, she still hasn't felt better. More on COVID long haulers. So there's some people who are having longer-term issues with COVID, so that's in the news. What else here? Trump and his administration. This is interesting. So this is this is how Twitter works, because I as long as you know how it works, you can get used to it. So they're talking about the Republican National Convention from last night, and the article is, Trump and his administration have not protected patients with pre-existing conditions, according to NPR and PolitiFact. At the Republican National Convention, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said President Trump stands by Americans with pre-existing conditions. However, his administration has a case before the Supreme Court to strike down the Affordable Care Act, which protects people with pre-existing conditions, according to NPR and fact checkers. Well, yeah. Does that mean he does not support that thing? Now, first of all, I'm still of that mindset that I understand the wanting to be nice and wanting to be able to protect people with pre-existing conditions, but the purpose of insurance, and I'm not a fan of the whole health insurance thing. I think you should be able to get catastrophic coverage and then pay everything else with cash, or pay just checkups on your own. I want to be able to do that, but I work for a company that pays for all my health insurance anyway, so I'm very lucky in that respect. But if I didn't, I would rather pay lower health care insurance cost by being able to buy catastrophic care for something, things that go bad. And just like you do with any other insurance is supposed to be against something bad. It's not supposed to be something that takes care of you constantly. I don't have insurance for my vehicle that I can take my car in and get everything fixed for free. That would be very expensive insurance. Kind of like our health insurance system. If you had places where you just get your checkups and you pay for the doctor's visit, I would be willing to pay $50 or $60 for a doctor visit rather than a $10 copay if I could get really cheap catastrophic care insurance, for things that really could go bad. Now, the problem with the whole pre-existing condition thing is, well, the Obamacare had this mandate that you had to buy insurance, right? But they had a way out of it. You could just pay a fine instead. That was often way less than paying for the insurance. So you could go without you could go without health insurance, but if you got really sick or had something happen, what's stopping you from buying insurance the day before you check yourself into the hospital? Because you can't discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions. Well, or what if you're in the hospital and you didn't have health insurance? Oh, well, I'll just buy health insurance now, even though I'm already in the hospital with my pre-existing condition. So I understand why that's kind of a disconnect to me. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to help people and be able to get health insurance and not be able to not kick people off or not make it impossible for people to get insurance because, oh, you had a pre-existing condition. But I think a lot of it is once a health insurer insures you, I think it's important that you can say, hey, I'm not going to, thank you, Gamer for lead. I'll read that in a second. What was I saying? But if you're, okay, what was I saying here? But if someone insures you and then all of a sudden they say, oh, we're not going to cover this because this was a pre-existing condition, that's bullshit. They shouldn't be able to do that. Once they insure you, they shouldn't be able to go back, 5 years. Oh, you had this condition 5 years ago that probably is affecting this condition now. I can see why that shouldn't be right. But there is a disconnect. Thank you, Gamer Valine, with the new 556. And still the superstar donor of the day. You are the new superstar donor of the day. You're back in the lead. Gamer Valine says, HIPAA didn't just go away because of a virus. I'm getting real sick of emotion being prioritized over rights. Until the employer pays for testing, Karen doesn't get to know who has a cough. Fuck their feelings. Well, yeah, right. That's true. These companies saying that you can't talk about their COVID sickness, that would be kind of a violation of HIPAA now, wouldn't I? Well, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I think that's strictly for medical professionals, but I don't think a company can disclose other people's medical conditions. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on the internet sometimes, and that may require some investigation. Any lawyers out there? If you're a lawyer, help me comment on Gamer Valine's donation and super chat. Thank you again, Gamer Valine. I appreciate you greatly. So anyway, of course, NPR and PolitiFact. I'm going to guess that Yamish, what's her name? Yanish? What the hell's her name? Anyway, the gadfly from the press conferences probably had something to do with this fact check, of course. And the fact that they're trying to strike down the Affordable Care Act, again, that is not contradictory with the idea that he wants to, in fact, Trump says it all the time. He likes the idea of the pre-existing condition rules. He just thinks the Affordable Care Act is crap. And so I don't know if there's really that of course, PolitiFact is bullshit anyway. They're terrible. All right. Is that it? Anything else new? I'm looking here. Anything new? Trump administration, blah, blah. TikTok chief executive resigns amid recent pressure on the app from the Trump administration. In the immortal words of Genghis Khan, bye, Felicia. Don't care. I don't care. I could care less about TikTok. Gosh. All right. That seems to be, tracking growth. Okay. Anything else new? 3 hours ago, 11 female voices from age 13 to 110 on why the vote matters. Oh, I'm sure this is just inspirational. This is how we're going to finish the show today. Maybe not. I thought it was going to be something that was, no, this is from the New York Times. 100 years ago today, the 19th Amendment, which declared that the right to vote could not be denied on the basis of sex, became a part of the U.S. Constitution. For many women, the fight for equality remains as urgent now as it was a century ago. Okay, let's just be pedantic here. Classes of people will never be equal. there are always going to be differences. And in fact, you can't really determine anything by using an entire class of people and comparing them to another class. Only individuals can flourish on their own, and they're never going to be equal. And so but if you want to look at those classes of people and see if we are allowing them the same opportunities as every other class of people, then that should be our goal. Our goal should always be to allow everyone to have the same opportunities, to flourish to the best of their abilities, to the best of their dreams, to the best of their work ethic, and where their brains could take them. And if you allow everyone the opportunity to flourish that way, well, then we're doing a good job. You can't make them attempt to flourish, and not everyone has the drive or determination to flourish in the same way. So, but this whole fight for equality, unless you can tell me specific things that any particular class has legally against them, or what is the different rule that you're fighting against that affects one class of people versus the other, then let's fight that. But until then, unless you can show me what those rules are, I don't know what you're going to fight. And on that note, that's a show for today. Ladies, thank you. What employers need to know. Oh, here, I'm going to put I'm not going to read this one because we're out of time, but here's a good article that Gamer Valine just sent me regarding that HIPAA thing. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today on the Morning Night Live. You know what? We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for my friends in other parts of the world. Like my friend from down under, Richo. I just mentioned that. Oh, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg. If you'd be so kind, before you hit the road or before you click, don't click yet. Don't click away yet until you click the like button. That helps the algorithm, and we grow and flourish on this show by you doing that. Also, please share the stream out. If you're watching on the replay, put a comment down in the comment section so that I know you're here. And, we have one more super chat. Thank you, Gunfox61. I think I may have thanked you prematurely, but I do appreciate the $2. Gunfox61 says, repeal the 19th. Also, make public offices require 2 years of military service. I might disavow half of that just because I am married, and if my wife sees this show, I think she would be not happy if I didn't disavow. But yes, make all public offices require 2 years of military service. That's interesting. Most of our elected officials wouldn't be elected right now. But anyway, thank you, sir, for the $2. I got to go, though. Thanks, everybody. Hit the like, share, and all that stuff. If you want to do donations or super chats, you can do that at PDawgKnight.live or on Venmo or on Cash App. Those links are in the description down below. Also, check out the merch short. I only have the one item, or at least the one type of item. I have t-shirts, masks, coffee cups, and stickers. Depending on which site you go to, you can go to either PDawgKnight.live or you can go to my Teespring link, which is in the description down below if you want to pick up one of those. Buy a mask and take a picture of you wearing the mask, and I will definitely, because I want to make an advertisement, but I don't want to have my picture in the advertisement. So if any of you happen to buy a mask, send me a picture of you with the 2020 for fuck's sake gear. That's it for today. Thanks, everybody, but I do have to go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.